Either one, it is currently the 13th of November 2014. You notice on the satellite imagery here today, I'm starting a little bit farther towards the north as far as the frame of reference, which we typically start, which usually includes the Philippines, because today's update, as we are going to be talking about the Philippines in the second half of it, we are going to be concentrating on what's going on across much of Japan today, because really the winds have been kicking up out here. Actually, max winds reported have been out here in Yamagata Prefecture upwards of 110 kilometers per hour. Suffice it to say that this has caused some damage. We have seen numerous reports of damage in Hokkaido, especially during the overnight hours. Also into Kanazawa and Ishikawa Prefecture, some reports of roofing blowing off a few buildings, damaging some cars. Good news, no injuries with this most recent storms, but it really has been windy out there, guys, and the rain's coming down. Latest radar out of Japan. Now, this is not all rain, though. A lot of this is snowfall, especially in the higher elevation. Some areas really could see upwards about 20 to 30 centimeters before this is all said and done. In a few areas, as much as 45 centimeters of total accumulation, causing all this weather. Now, here's just a quick surface analysis. This is from this morning. 980 HPA over northern Japan. Now, this in itself is causing some heavy snowfall, especially across parts of far eastern Russia, Sakhalin, and over towards Kamchatka. You're going to see the snow out of this as this does drift off there towards the northeast, around that center of low pressure area. But farther down towards the south, in the more heavy populated areas across much of Hokkaido down through Honshu, the snow is not so much due to the lift from the low, but more due to a diabatic process, which we call sea effect snow. You get those winds coming from Siberia, very cold, and they're typically around the freezing point, but the sea surface temperatures out here at this time are about 10 to 15 degrees Celsius. What we have is a cold air over warm water that causes instability. It picks up that moisture and it drops it out here, and as I mentioned, we're going to be seeing some heavy snowfall. Now, on the Pacific coastline of Japan, though, the Japanese Alps do act like a roadblock. It drops all that snowfall there. If you're in Tokyo over towards much of the Kanto Plain, temperatures mid-teens for the high. Actually, it's not that bad. The biggest problem we see in Saitama, because we had that cool air come across this area and the surface still relatively warm, and well, this is actually fog out there. Some pretty incredible images. These are the buildings poking through there in the Tokyo area. So yeah, that's what it looked like during the morning hours, and really the worst of the weather for the Kanto Plain. At the very least, it does look like it should stay that way as we look ahead through Friday and the Saturday. But the other big topic, as I mentioned, outside of that, monsoonal winds picking up the sea effect snow, which should last the rest of the weekend out here for much of Japan, is the cold surge itself, pushing down across the southern Japanese islands. It's going to be breezy out there. I don't expect much of a temperature drop, just because the temperature really modifies by the time it gets this far south. But the high is still coming, and that kicks up the gradient-induced winds, not only there for Taiwan, northern portions of Luzon. Now, what we did have is our low pressure area located out here near Koror, and that's still there. It's pulling off towards the north, but the big thing is, though, that's just getting elongated, guys, and don't expect a landfalling low rate here. But on the northern extent of it, just due to that interaction, it is squeezing some moisture across the Philippines, and especially across eastern portions of Visayas and southeastern Luzon, we could see some isolated areas of flooding. Scroll through, this is actually looking out through 72 hours right there, and you can see where the heaviest precipitation is taking place, basically up and down the eastern seaboards. Manila, you're still going to get some rainfall, but the worst of it will stay farther offshore. Now, I do want to scroll a little bit farther towards the west, because Vietnam's also dealing with this, that monsoonal rains, really the northeast monsoon coming out shore and hitting the mountains here could cause some localized flooding there as well. All this is seasonal, nothing unusual, but it definitely isn't very pleasant when it does occur. Meanwhile, China, I didn't mention much because the weather is absolutely calm. The biggest issue here may be the haze as we look off towards Beijing. But that is all for now, everybody. Thanks again for watching here at westernpacificweather.com. Remember, please check out the website. Really where we make all our money, a little money we do make to keep the site running. So if you go here, just check out all the little products we have available. Also, the 5-day, 7-day forecast at the top of the page. A slew of other products. So do please go check it out. Definitely, if you are interested in meteorology in the Western Pacific, we have a lot of stuff there that you could just kind of scroll through. Even in the links page alone, I believe, is very, very useful. So, yeah, just do go check that out. And as always, stay safe out there, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.